Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Callie and I am going to be going through September TBR. So in August I read a total of 20 books, which is the most I've read throughout this entire year. But don't have plans to recreate that. If it happens, it happens. Yay. Each month seems to be getting better, but I feel like 20 books is like the peak. So I have 14 books set up here and I'm gonna get into it. The first book that I have is a reread. I want to reread Crier's War by Varela so that I can read the sequel, Ironheart, also by Varela. This is a duology following this post-Autome, I think is what they're called, versus humans, but the Autome won, and they're these robots essentially, and we're following two girls, the princess of the Autome, who doesn't feel like she really belongs in her position, and we're following a human who watched her family get slaughtered in the war, so she has a hatred for the Autome and wants to start a rebellion to take them down. And I really enjoyed Crier's War. I'm really excited to jump back into this. I think it's been a little over a year since I've read the book, so hence why I want to reread it so that I can read Ironheart, which came out, I believe, late last year or early this year. Up next, I have Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. I've been delving a lot into romance recently, and I wanted to give historical romance a chance. So I think this is a Regency romance, and I've heard really good things. I even have the sequel. So I'm really excited. Plus, this will help me catch up on all of my Book of the Month books. Up next, I have Blood of Wonderland by Colleen Oakes. This is the second book in the Queen of Hearts trilogy. I liked the first one. It was definitely a different take on the Queen of Hearts story within the Alice in Wonderland world, and it was very predictable. However, I am intrigued to see where it's gonna go. Next, I have The Burning Shadow by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in the Origin series, which is a sequel series to her original Lux series. And this is following 7 years after that. And we're following a girl who has met one of these Lux, which are aliens who have been to Earth about 7 years now and are starting to get acclimated to their life on Earth, but they're still very prejudiced and discriminated against. So we're following her as she starts to meet some of these Lux and realize that really humans are shit and not necessarily the aliens. I have Come Tumbling Down by Seanan McGuire. This is the, fifth book in the Wayward Children series, which I've been slowly reading over the past couple of months. They're all really fun, very interesting short stories of kids who went into Narnia-esque worlds only to get spit back out. So sometimes we're following the child in present and past, sometimes we're following them in just present day. And I really enjoy where these books go. They're very, very fun. Up next, I have The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. I actually have zero clue what this is about. This is one of my fairy loots. It's really pretty. I love the stenciled edges. I don't know. And it's got art on the dust jacket and apparently also on the cover. Neat. I think this is supposed to be a girl in prison. The way that it was described to me was as if Throne of Glass started while Selena was still in Endovier, which was the big prison in Throne of Glass. Other than that, I have zero clue what this is about, but I've seen really good reviews. And I've even pre-ordered the second book. So, really hope I like it. I also have The Throne of Fire by Riordan. This is the second book in the Cain Chronicles, which is following two teenagers as they realize that the gods of ancient Egypt are real and are causing problems. So, we are following the second book as we follow these two siblings try and navigate and unearth a lot of their family secrets, as their family knew all about this ancient Egyptian society, along with like communicating with all these gods. So they're just all sorts of confused, and they're like preteens. I enjoyed the first one. It was a bit predictable, but it was still very enjoyable. The next book I have is Roar by Cora Carmack. This follows a princess who has been groomed her entire life to be queen, but she has yet to showcase her family's magic and in fact she is hiding a secret that she doesn't even think she has it. So she's trying to navigate that while also still trying to present as the perfect princess. I love tropes like this. They're really fun, and I've heard really good reviews about this book. I've heard it's one of the biggest underrated YA stories, and I believe the third book is either just about to drop or just dropped. I don't remember. Up next, I have The Cursed Sea by DeStefano. This is the second book in the Glass Spare duology, where we're following a princess who is basically a spare heir who accidentally gets these powers to turn living things into gems. I loved the first book. It was very steampunk. It was a lot of fun. It had a lot of really good banter and just overall had great themes, storytelling. So really excited to see how her story ends. Next, Sarah and I always pick a book to read together. For the month of September, we have chosen Gearbreakers by Zoe Hana Makuta. This is a futuristic, I believe, humans versus robots war, and I've heard rave reviews of this. This book just recently dropped a couple months ago, and I am so intrigued. I kind of want to get back into the sci-fi side of fantasy, because I feel like I've been reading a lot of just high fantasy opposed to sci-fi. So I have a fair amount of sci-fi in this month with Crier's War and this one, and I think The Prison Healer is considered sci-fi, but really excited to get to this one. Sarah also picks a book for me to read every month for funsies. We do it for each other every month, and she picked for me Heartstopper Volume 1 by Oseman. This is a graphic novel of boy meets boy, boys become friends, boys fall in love. I've seen this all over Facebook and Book Talk, Instagram, and I've heard nothing but good things. I'm not huge into graphic novels. I've read a few, but never ones this large. This is definitely a big novel-ish. I mean, it's graphic, but whatever. So I'm really excited to dive into this and finally see what the hype is all about. Next, I have A Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova. I've been seeing her name everywhere, and I really wanted to dive into one of her books, so I picked up this one because this was the one that kept popping up and I kept seeing everywhere, and it sounds really up my alley. It is this world where fae just come and steal humans as brides, and one day our main character is taken by the Elf King. So I've been told it's very romance heavy, and I believe the second book in this series just dropped as well, so I'm hoping that I really like this. And the last book that I have on my September TBR is Emperor Mage by Tamora Pierce. This is the third book in the Immortals series, which Sarah had me read a couple months ago, and I've been just continuing on with the series because they're good. I enjoy them very much. We're following this girl Dane who has wild magic, and she is able to communicate and almost control animals. And what I really like about this series is each book we progress pretty far into a timeline. The first book, Dane starts off as 13 or 12. The second book, she was, I think, just about to turn 15. So I like how we're speeding up because then the characters are maturing and that we get a better handle on the magic system and her magic, and I find that really intriguing and an interesting way to do a series. So this is book 3, and I'm very excited to dive back into this world. I think this is a quartet. Yeah, it's a quartet because I have book 4. And I'm excited to see where Dane's story goes. And those are all the books that I plan on reading for the month of September. We'll see how far I get into this TBR compared to the past couple of months, because September is jam-packed. It's my birthday in September, which actually, as I'm filming this, my birthday is tomorrow, September 2nd. So really excited for that. We have a couple of weddings to go to. My husband and I are doing a race at the end of the month, so we're pretty jam-packed full of fun things that we're doing, but hopefully I'll have some time to just sit down and read. So that's going to be it for today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and I will see you guys in our next video.